Today, we're thrilled to have Siddharth Rajsekar, a renowned digital coach, moderating this panel discussion. In this discussion, we'll explore how self-directed learning can lead to extraordinary achievements. So get ready for some inspiring success stories. And now you welcome to the stage.
Thank you. Great to be here. How are all of you doing? Yes. What's the one word you like to shout out? What's that word? Feeling awesome? Thank you. Thank you for all being here. This is going to be a panel discussion. We're going to discuss about how self-directed learning can help us do much more, live our fullest potential. And I just want to, by a quick show of hands, how many of you do not know about me? By just a show of hands, anybody here who first time, okay, getting to, thank you so much. So just for you, so that I can introduce myself, then I'll bring on the panel. My name is Siddharth Rajsekar. I don't have a degree next to my name. College dropout, musician, turned digital geek. I run one of the largest communities for coaches in the world right now. We're over 30,000 members. And my inspiration has been my grandfather from day one. You know, my grandfather, he told me when I was an 8-year-old kid, never let schooling interfere with your education. He was quoting Mark Twain, and it ended up becoming the theme of my life. Failed my 12th, did not make it through college, did my sound engineering in 2001, and then later on went through a whole series of ups and downs in my career. And today I'm really honored to say that all those experiences have helped me now redefine a new form of coaching, training, education, what I'm doing, building my community. And I want to first of all thank Quest community. Let's all give a round of applause to Sharanya and Srikanth. Thank you for inviting me here. Yes. My son has been studying here for the last 4 years, and I have to say that it has been a pleasure for my wife and I to see him bloom and grow in this space. And our second son is also over here in Quest. So when Sharanya invited, and why not you do a session on self-directed learning, which is pretty much has been the theme of my life and what I'm also propagating in my community. Why not we discuss and go deeper into understanding how we can connect that to achievement and how we can bring out the best in ourselves, and where honestly degrees don't matter. It's all about living our full potential and living each day doing what we love. So are all of you ready for this? Okay, that's like a level 4 energy. I want level 10. Are you all ready for that? Yeah. Awesome, good. So let me introduce the 3 panelists that we have on board. And it's an honor to introduce the 3. I'm going to be introducing the other panelists who also happen to be my students and my proud students, and amazing work that they are doing. And I want to first start off with Gomathy Narayanan, okay? So Gomathy, if you can please stand up. Let's first give her a round of applause, yes? Yeah. So just so that all of you know, Gomathy is the founder of a community called Early Readers Lab. And she's been impacting more than 300 kids unlock their genius through reading. And she's been doing that in spite of having her job, doing her thing. And she's some other things. She runs a thing called Book Trails, a curated library in Chennai promoting readers among Chennai. And she's also a reading specialist. She's a storyteller, a phonics instructor, on a mission to help at least 1 million kids fall in love with reading and learning. So a round of applause for Gomathy for that big mission. Besides that, Gomathy is a senior executive at Accenture. She's been consulting there, and she's done a lot of work. She's got her MS from University of Texas, Dallas. She's a Montessori educator and a dedicated mom to 11-year-old Sids. Where is Sids? The young Siddharth. Okay, let's give Siddharth also a round of applause. And married to Nirmal for the last 15 years. So Gomathy, can you please come and take a seat? Let's give her a round of applause once again. Thank you, Gomathy. Okay, the next person I would like to bring on the panel is someone who have been truly inspired by his journey. Okay, so Dhejo, can you please stand up? Let's give him a round of applause. So Dhejo he's facilitated over 2,000 crores in working capital for MSMEs and corporates in the Tamil Nadu region over the last many years. He has worked with more than 2,600 customers across South India, playing a key role in raising funds. He built an award-winning company and earned more than 50 awards from the top banks and MBFCs. So big round of applause for that. And he's the founder and managing director of MoneyMax FinGrow Private Limited. He's a certified business and NLP master practitioner and a triple graduate from Leadership Management International. So let's give it up for Dhejo. Please take your seat over here. Yeah. Thank you, Dhejo, for being here. Yes. And our next person on the panel is Dr. Nalini. So let's give Nalini a round of applause. Nalini is a baby brain coach. So she helps unlock the genius in kids from age 0 to 6. That is her superpower. She's the founder of the Holistic Parenting Universe, and it's the largest community of parents raising super genius kids. Again, she's an influencer herself with over 1 million views on YouTube, 78,000 Instagram followers, impacting families in over 40 countries. So let's give it up for Nalini for the amazing work. Over 3,000 parents have been transformed through her community. She's been featured in top magazines and a speaker promoting, she's been featured in top magazines and also been a speaker promoting teen mental health in schools. And she's got an honorary doctorate in early childhood education for her whole brain acceleration method. So once again, round of applause for Nalini. Please take your seat. Yes. So really looking forward to this, the conversation that we're going to have. Since the theme of this is to do with self-directed learning for achievement, the goal is achievement. So I have prepared a few questions for each one of you, and I'm going to go through them one by one. The first one is, I want to just start off with a short answer from the three of you. Okay. Well, let's start with Gomathy. What is your definition of self-directed learning? Let's start from there, and then we'll come to achievement later. What is your definition?
Self-directed learning is knowing your own potential and your own liking, and finding your sweet spot in your life, which will make you happy for life. Because we are all here, at the end of the day, we want to live a happy life. Yes. So what is it that's going to keep you happy, and you find that sweet spot in your life and run towards that.
Great, thank you. And what about you, Dhejo? What is your definition of self-directed learning?
Mine is the other way around. Self-directed education is like having fire in the belly. So you have to achieve something, then you have to find your way to achieve it, and you have to see what is that. I mean, I have seen in my life what is it I have to achieve, and I have chosen pick specific topics, and I have gone in depth into it. For example, finance. So if you have fire in the belly, yes, you will find a way to have a self-directed education.
Great. Thank you, Dhejo. Thank you so much. What about you, Nalini?
Yeah,
what is your
so
definition of
self-directed learning is mostly on the observation is what I feel. Personal level observation on ourselves. What do we like? What do we want to learn? What do we want to be? So thinking from a futuristic thing also. It may not be something that is long term, but at the moment what I am liking to do in my life. It doesn't have to have any past following. It doesn't have to follow a path that is set by someone else for us, but it's something that we can set for ourselves in every stage of our life, every phase of our life. So especially we all go through our phases in our life, right? We don't have a same template in our own lives, in our own individuals' lives, right? So every single phase we do have a particular scenario, situation happens. So every single moments like that, we be observant to that particular situation and we take forward that.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So before I move on to the next question, are all of us on the same page that self-directed is self-directed? It's each one of us have our own perspective of what it is, and there's nothing right or wrong. It's what works for us. Would all of you agree with that? Yes? Yeah. So I'm going to be leading this conversation in 3 parts. The first part is more like the pivot. You know, like at what stage, I want everyone to understand from your journey, did you make the pivot to creating this massive impact that you're doing? I'm sure there was a point where you were preparing, been through the regular drill of life and things, and then there was a pivoting moment. So the first part of the conversation, I want to go deeper into the pivoting point for you. So we'll go deep into that. The second part of the conversation is I want to take this to insights that you gained through that pivot? Like, what did you discover about yourself? Like, you generating so many thousands of crores at MSMECs, I'm sure there was something that happened and that helped you gain those insights. Same with you and you. And the third part is when we wrap up this panel, we want the three of you to also share like specific actions we can take so that we can move forward to achieving whatever we want. Maybe like in your case, there might have been moments where you doubted yourself. Or maybe you still have some of that stuff, but you're still pushing through and making it happen. So how are you taking action to pushing the boundaries? So it's a pivot, it's the insights, and we'll wrap up with the action. So would all of you, shall we go deeper into this? Yes? Yeah. Okay. So let's start with Gomathy. For you, tell us about what was your education and then leading into what was the pivoting point for you in your journey.
Sure. So I come from a very traditional family where education is the way to go, right? And always, our society tells us that, nalla padichidu, avladhan, you get settled in a job, and that's the way forward, right? Because I come from a very humble family, so our future was that as long as you're having a good degree, you get well settled in life, and that's the way to go. And that I followed, and I'm also, I have an elder brother who was a role model for me all along. He's 7 years older than I am, and he was already in the US when I was going through the schooling and all that. And so my path was already set, right, that this is what I'm going to follow. And after I completed my engineering degree, and engineering happened by mistake because I wanted to become a doctor, because my family, there was a CA, my sister who's 13 years older than I am, is a CA, and my brother is an engineer. So traditional, so I was destined to be the doctor, right? So I missed my doctor, cut off and all that by 1 point or something like that, and I had to do engineering. So that was the next best thing. And after completing 4 years of engineering, I felt so empty. I felt that there is nothing that I've gained. I've not learned anything. So by the time I was in third year itself, I started to prepare for GRE and TOEFL and all that, and I went to America, right? And I was one of the the toppers in the college and all that, and went to America. After going through 2 years of master's degree, spending over 20 lakhs in my education, I still felt the same way. I still felt empty. I still felt that I didn't know anything. I was specializing in network and telecommunication, one of the niche areas at that point. And here I am sitting in a faraway land. I would only get about an hour to talk to my family and all that. So there's nobody to even brainstorm to understand whether I'm thinking right or not. And then I said, something about education has been wrongly told to us, right? So then I started to look around to see what was happening. That's really when I started to open my eyes to see what's happening around, right? Because up until then, our path is all set for us. Our parents have set that. And then I started to look around. I was living in US at that time, and I was attracted towards Montessori method of education, and I said something about the way Montessori schools are working is wonderfully working, and what is it that I can learn from there? And quite around that time, my nephew was born, and he was going through that Montessori system, and I said, this is how education should be. It should be self-directed. If I'm sure all of you will understand how Montessori system work, right? So it's all very self-directed, and it's enabling the child to fish instead of feeding the fish every single day to the child, right? And I said, oh no, this is something magical about this that I need to learn. And so that's how I started to look at self-learning. So I started to take principles from Montessori system, started to apply for my own life at that time. I was not married at that time and all that, but I knew at some point when I have a child, it will be through the Montessori methodology. So that's the pivotal point if you're looking
Amazing.
at that.
So it was more like you did everything what the script was given,
Yes.
but it was hollow success.
Yes.
And then you realized by observing the family members and then gone to Montessori. So that was the time you started to go deep into the reading and everything else. Amazing. Let's give a round of applause for sharing that journey. Dhejo, what about you? What was your background education? And by the way, what did you study? You're triple graduate. Tell us a little about that as well.
So how many of you are aware of the property in Katanglutur, SRM property? That is where I did my diploma in mechanical engineering. You might wonder, diploma in mechanical engineering to finance? Yes, that's how it all happened. I finished diploma in mechanical engineering and I worked with ICICI Bank for around 4 years. I understood the entire process of funding and I left my job and I started my own consulting. It was fantastic and it was going really well. And 2008, there was a crisis because of the Lehman Brothers. How many of you know that? Okay. So because of that, my business got a huge hit. I had around 80 plus employees at that point of time. My salaries was huge and I lost everything. Literally, I was on street. I lost my savings in terms of salaries and I didn't have anything. I got married. I mean, my wife was pregnant at that time and it was 2000, from 2008 to 2010, I was suffering like anything, how to survive in life. That is when I understood necessity is the mother of invention. There was this necessity to learn more. Whatever that brought me here will not take me there to the next point, to the B point. So I thought how I can be different, how I can be unique comparing to other business people. Then I started learning a lot and I restarted my life again in 2011. Fortunately, whatever I lost, I made 10x in my business and it went well. And from there, I was doing really well. 2017 GST implemented and I thought of taking my business to next level. After GST implementation, I converted my business into private limited business and after becoming as a private limited, I shouldn't stop there. I thought of making it furthermore big. Then I appointed a business coach and I appointed a mentor. Once I was sitting with a mentor, he was asking me, I'm the best business consultant in Chennai. So what? I can give the best service to my customer. So what? That so what continued to a long and at a point, I realized I'm nothing. So I have to do more. So then I decided, okay. Then I thought I should do big, and I crafted a business plan. And in 2019, I had around 17 branches across South India, and we were doing a monthly business of 100 crores. In March 2020, I opened my 18th branch in Hyderabad. You know what happened in March 2020? At that point of time, I was not aware of lockdown. I don't even know what the meaning of lockdown. I thought, okay, this is going to be a temporary, might open in 1 or 2 months. Then 20th March 2020, we opened Hyderabad branch. 23rd was a lockdown. So we thought, okay, it is going to be temporary and it is going to be 1 or 2 months and again we can restart. At that point of time, I had around 235 employees across South India. So again, the same thing happened. Whatever happened that in 2007, it repeated in 2020. If you see in both these cases, nothing is my mistake. Both are natural calamities. One is Lehman crisis and the other is COVID. So I thought, okay, nature is telling us something. I should be aware of it. Let us see what's happening. Then I tried to survive till September. Then I was not able to manage the business, and I said all the branches, whoever is taking care of the branch, the same branch can be converted as franchisee, and whoever is interested, they can take up the business. Some branches survived, some people left, some people stayed, and again I reworked on the model. That is where I realized something. Most of the business people are financially weak. They don't know how to manage their finances. They don't. When it comes to salaried, they get salaries and they earn, but they don't know how to manage it. Then that's where I saw a strong purpose. I myself have personally funded many businesses, but I failed to educate people. That is when a business coach in me popped up, and today I'm coaching around 2,600 plus entrepreneurs across South India on various areas of business, and I'm happy to share with all of you that my business is fantastically fantastic, but I have changed the model. I have learned from my failures, and I have invested a lot than anything in myself in terms of education. Still, my wife says, "Hey, என்னதான் பண்ற நீ எப்போ பார்த்தாலும் ஏதோ ஒன்று படிச்சுட்டே இருக்க என்ன பண்ற நீ எனக்கு என்ன பண்றது சொல்லு." It is kind of that. I keep reading lot of books and I do lot of courses, and I see how I can shape myself. Always, one thing is very, very strong in my mind. Whatever has taken me here will not take me there. So I have to sharpen myself, and I have to be very, very, I should be updated in terms of knowledge and experience. And today I am saying to my children, டே நீங்கள் என்ன படித்தாலும் படிக்கணுன்றதுக்காக படிக்காதீங்க, இதை எப்படி உன் லைஃப்பில் இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ண முடியும் அப்படி பாரு, அப்படி சொல்லி கொடுத்தா வளர்க்குறேன் பசங்களை. Thank you. So there are not one, there are multiple phases where I have gone into self-directed education.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing, Dhejo. All of you give a round of applause for Dhejo for sharing his journey. Multiple pivots, not just one. But I think the pattern for you, what I could see through your story is you never stopped reinventing yourself, or and that learning, that hunger for learning something
Just
new.
one thing, it always amazes me when I fail. I failed twice miserably. Not like just a small failure, a very big failure. And just one thing I like to share.
Please, yeah.
In 2020 September month, I went to my wife and said, we have to pay salaries to our employees. Okay, do one thing, take our family fund and give the salaries. It's already gone. She is like, what are you saying? Are you mad? Why didn't you tell me? I didn't have any other option. I have to survive the business. More than the business, I have to survive. I have to give life to my employees, because everybody had around 4 to 5 people in their families. So that was running in my mind. And I promised to my wife, don't worry, whatever you lost in terms of a family goal, we have separate savings for a family goal. But for me, that was not important at that point of time, because I have to save my employees. I promised her, whatever that is lost, don't worry, I will give you back with multiple X. Today, I have honored my promise, and all this is because of continuous learning. That's why I told you in the beginning, fire in the belly. If you have that fire, you'll find a way. You will know what you will need to learn. If you have the purpose, if you know the why, if you know that why you have to do. If you're working, if you're doing a business, you need to know why you're doing the business. If you're working, why are you working? What is that you want? If that end goal is clear, you will find your direction. Thank you.
Thank you, Dhejo. Amazing journey. Yeah. Let's pass on to Nalini now. Nalini, what was your pivoting moment? And maybe you can start with your education to that.
Sure. So I strongly believe that every one of us, when we are born, we are all self-directed learners. Nobody teaches us to stand up or to speak. We're all self-directed learners. But at some point of time, we're all being stopped and being guided with a structure, even though we like it or not. So I was also the same. Everything was said to me, like, this is what you are going to do, this is what you need to do. Because, my parents were so rigorous about education, only the school system. If I just take any novel to read also, my mom will be like, why are you reading this novel? If the time that you're spending in this novel, you can spend it reading your textbook so that you can get more marks. That is how it used to be. Even in my schools, if I have to participate in any of the extracurricular, like dance or sports or something, I've always been said like, no, please focus only on this. So I also know that this is something very important, because my parents, not blaming them, but because they know that the situation that they are going through is because of lack of education. So they really wanted their 2 girls, the daughters, to be educated so that we can thrive in our future. So we know that, and we go through the education system, and then only goal that was set to me was to get placed in a good MNC company or to get a good IT job, and I got that. I was placed in one of the prestigious companies, and then once I went and sat back that, oh, thank God, I've made my mom proud, I've made my dad proud. Now they can tell with all proud that my daughter is a software engineer in so-and-so company. And then I was thinking like, something is missing here. All this while I have been doing all this, that's fine, but something I have to do for myself. So I think that is when I started, that was the time when into 2013, so YouTube was all there. My Google is my guru, where I learn till now, Google is my guru, where I learn everything from there. Now we have the gurus here, the coaches here to help me scale so much, but that time it was only YouTube. I was learning about jewelry making. Okay, so till that point of time, I have to always be asking my mom for money. Even if I'm earning now, I have to ask her. But at least now I get some pocket money for me, which I can use for myself. So I remember as in 2013, I used to be so passionate about the jewelry learning, the jewelry designing. So nobody will take me to Paris. I live in Chennai, and my house was near Kundratur. But nobody takes me to Paris, but I go all by my own, even though I don't know that time, Google Maps and all was not there. So, but I go by bus, I go and find out where do I get these materials, and I come back and I do it. From morning 7 o'clock, I'll board my bus to my office, and night 8 o'clock, I'll reach back home. But after I come back home, I'll be looking forward for that 1 hour, 2 hour of time for me to do that jewelry designing. So that is how it was there. But 1 year later, my sister gave birth to her son, and she came to the mother's place. And my mom said, no more jewelry designing because this is going to affect the baby. And everything packed, kept back. Now I'm thinking like, okay, I'm still working, okay? But monthly salary is coming. But now what I will do? I can't do this, but what I will do? Then me and my husband now, but that time he was my boyfriend. So we both decided we have a camera, because he loves short film making, and he does short film where every money goes out. And I was like, you are making short films, but you're not earning anything, but it's only going out. Then I was thinking, okay, you have a camera, right? Let me learn about photography, and I'm going to make money out of this. The purpose was not to make money, but to find what I really want. And then that was again 2014. There was no much awareness about maternity photo shoot, baby photo shoot and all that. But we used to do that photo shoots, and there are a lot of North Indians who are aware about it, and they were our clients. And then we stepped into wedding photographers, and we had, over 10 people working for our brand. We both were working.
Were you still in a job then?
Yes, absolutely.
So that was happening.
Both of us were working. He was working in one company, I was working in another company. We take up projects, our employees go, in the weekends we go, and people in the wedding also be like, whenever they see me with a camera, they used to think that I'm the friend of the bride. So they will be so surprised to see I'm a photographer. They will be so surprised that there's a woman photographer in wedding industry. That was how it was. And we did that for more than 4 years. And my friends and all in the company used to ask me, Nalini, you're so good at photography, then why are you not yet leaving your job? I always felt that I don't know if this is what I would love to do for the rest of my life. This is something I'm doing for the time being, for feeding my soul, I would say. And then in 2019, when we wanted to get married, we thought, okay, most of the times we are spending always in the projects and business and all of these things. Let's put a full stop right now. After our wedding, we will decide. And then 2020, we got our baby. Our baby was arrived, and 7 days from her birth, or 10 days from her birth, it was complete pandemic. And I'm still working. I was in the maternity break. I remember when I was joining my IT job, right? I was given the job of a work integrated learning. That is how it used to be. Like, I'm not from an engineering background. I'm from a mathematics background, but I was given a job of software engineer where I got Masters in Information Technology. So that was a student integrated work integrated learning portal. So 4 years was that course while I was working. So the last day of my exam, I remember me and my friends together, all of us jumped so happily that this will be the last exam that we are going to take up in our life. So I remember that very well. Now, when my daughter was born, I was so fascinated. I was thinking, like, what is this small baby is trying to communicate to me? There is something that is there that she wants to speak. She can't speak, right? So I was so fascinated. What is that? And that was the first time I'm not learning for myself, but another person in a different aspect. All the school, college education, I was learning for another person, but this time it was self-directed.
Amazing.
So I went for child psychology, and then I got so fascinated about the early years brain development. I started to learn about neuroscience. I started to learn about early childhood education, parenting, every single concept of that, and I started to apply many of those concepts with my daughter. And the learning just continues. And what I started only for my baby is now impacting like over 3,000 parents in my community alone. But apart from that, still I'm a learner. I've been learning continuously on so many other stuff. I don't know if there is any pivotal point as such in my life,
Yes.
but I think the life is happening the way my soul wants. That is what I'm saying.
Amazing.
You know, the purpose has been always. Now I can clear. Now you know, in 2021, by the time I was almost like 8-9 months into the coaching, at that time my daughter was a very small baby, 1 year. And I do workshops. And when I was doing the workshops, there was a point I was feeling like I need to definitely quit my job this time. So, and I was just waiting for companies to call back because it was work from home due to pandemic, right? So I was thinking like, okay, when the company asked me to come back to office, I'm going to resign and I'm going to continue this coaching for as my own thing. And then after a few months, I was kept on thinking about it. And then I was thinking, why do I have to wait until they call me? And then I was telling Surya, I'm not able to do this. Maybe I should, if I focus more on my business, I think I'll make a huge impact. Then he said, then why are you still doing it? You can, anytime you can put, then we together put the resignation. And 2021, December 31st was my last date. It was like, 2022 is going to be my year. And you know, now I'm doing this with so much of, I show up every single day for my community. Some of my community members are here. Thank you so much for coming. And they used to ask me, like, how do you actually show up this much, Nalini? Because you have a very small kid. How do you manage it all? I don't think I'm managing it all because it's something from the soul that is guiding me through this whole process. And when you have something inside of you, you will get to have all the opportunities coming to you. That's how you came to my life. And every single thing that is happening, I think it's just going on. If you ask me 5 years later, I think I'll have more stories
You'll have
to
more
tell.
stories to share.
Yeah.
Amazing. Let's get up for Nalini. Great journey and story. Yeah. So before I move on to the next part, so we've kind of got the essence of the pivot, but I want to like throw the question back out all of you. Okay, so I'm just going to ask the question. Based on their 3 journeys, any pattern that you've observed, just raise your hand and shout out if it's a single word or some idea that you can see as a pattern. Resilience. Anything else? They kept going on no matter what. Anything else? Consistency. Inner purpose. They stopped and started thinking what's happening. Yeah, someone there. Never quit learning. Good one. Anybody else? Open to new ideas, new paths. I'll point to you and you shout out. Yes.
Dissatisfaction. They are dissatisfied and they
Dissatisfaction, hollow success, like in this case. That was another point for you. Getting out of the comfort zone. They came to know what was the root cause. Courage. Anything else? Unlearning. Amazing. Pattern breaking. Good one. Okay, give all of yourselves a round of applause for all those. Amazing. Thank you. So now we're going to shift gears to the second part, which is the insights. And let's do it like faster because I want to like hit them with value based on your journey. What do you think are the top 3 insights you've gained when it comes to self-directed learning for achievement?
I would say, in terms of the learning itself, I would say, never be confined to what what the society tells you or what is the norm, right? It's okay to break the norm. Okay, it is never restrict yourself to a template. It's okay to break the template, right? Even today, my mom tells me that there is your son. He's a single child. You're now taking care of your child. You're taking care of hundreds of kids in your community. I'm like, it's okay. Even I'm doing it. My child is observing this, and I'm preparing him for life. So the template would say that as a mother, I should take care of the child and just be at home or just take care of the child. but I was okay to break the template. Number two is um, never stop looking, right? There are multiple places that you get answered. If you're not satisfied, there's always an inner compass that's telling you that, this is not okay. Your intuition keeps telling you that, you're not satisfied. This is not okay. So keep on looking as long as your inner compass is, your inner compass, you're intuitively guided, right? Just keep on looking whenever you are dissatisfied. It's okay, because we only have one life, right? Why live in a dissatisfied environment? Why live in a place, a job that you don't like, or live in an environment that you don't like? And the third, I would say, is invest in your learning every single day. Be consistent in learning, at least half an hour a day, 1 hour a day. Invest in your learning, because you have to keep on, it's like a diamond that we are, right? We have to keep on polishing this diamond that we are.
Thank you, Gomathy. Great insights. Let's go on to Dhejo. What are your top 3 insights you've gained from your own journey?
I deeply track my time, where it is invested.
Perfect.
And I focus on my focus. Where am I focusing? Is it positive or negative? Is it high or low? Where am I focusing? That is what I work on. And the third thing is energy. If you see all the three, once it is lost, it's lost. You cannot get it back. Time, focus, energy. So if you could work on these 3 things, I'm working on it and it is helping me. And that is what is day by day, I'm maturing in terms of fantastic human being, in terms of my life. So the 3 things I would insist is time, focus, and energy.
Excellent. Thank you, Dhejo. Great insights. What is it for you, Nalini? What have you
So first one is never compare. Never compare yourself with others, not even with yourself in the past or in the mind in the future.
Okay.
And the second one will be surround yourself with people whom you want to become like. Even if it is not physically present, you can listen to them, learn from them. Always be surrounded with those people whom you want to become like. And the third one would be, it's okay if you make any mistakes, just like how we learned from Dhejo, that every time you want to do something, there will be some huge fear that will be there inside of us, and it needs a lot of risk-taking mindset to actually try it out. But it's okay. We can be a one-mistake learner.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you for sharing. That is a good one. The next one is more to do with, we're going to just do 2 more rounds and then we will wrap up. We have 5 more minutes, right? Okay. So this one is your definition of achievement. Because achievement, would all of you agree that each one of us have our own definition of what it is? So let's hear from them. What is it for you, Gomathy? When you think deeply, what does achievement mean to you?
When people around me, if I'm able to make impact at least one other person, if there is at least one other person having a better life because I exist, that is achievement for me.
Touching another life. Amazing. Thank you, Gomathy. What about for you, Dhejo? What is your definition?
For me, achievement is having 100% clarity in what you want. So I am clear with what I want. That is my achievement.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dhejo. Let's give it up for Dhejo on that. And Nalini, what is it for you?
For me, achievement is the legacy that we are building when we are alive, so that it can continue after our life.
Amazing. Thank you, Nalini. The last round in this panel is a question which is to do with the action. Okay. Now, all of us are here. We have come from different places to, be in this conversation. But would all of you want to go back with something that you can act on? Yes? I mean, there's no point sitting for this time and not actually going to do something about it, right? So, if you had to, let's start with Nalini and then come to Gomathy. So, Nalini, if you had to give one simple tip or an action that everybody here can start immediately today, what would be your action that you want to give them?
I would suggest, just think today's date is September 28, right? So, September 28, 2025. If you want to just backtrack from there, how do you want to be? Where do you want to live? Whom do you want to surround yourself with? What are the things that you feel? It doesn't have to be something materialistic that you have accumulated or something that bigger achievement kind of. But can there be some 1% progress that you can make? But for goals that you want to set, you can set it like a bigger one also. September 28, 2025, where you want to be, whom you want to be with. So if you have that clarity, just pick one habit that you want to do every single day that is going to make you that person. Even if you don't reach there 100%, but you will definitely celebrate the progress and the clarity that is going to bring you along the way.
Amazing. Thank you, Nalini. What about you, Dhejo? What is your one action that you want
One
to give?
action what I have been taking for so many years is like writing goals and loving it. I love my goals.
Writing goals and loving it.
That is what I'm doing for the last so many years, and it is working for me. And I don't do it, I live it.
Thank you, Dhejo. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
Gomathy, what is your one action?
For me,
you'd like to
spend at least 30 minutes every day reading a book. Just, there is a lot of information, and every day you may want to learn something. This, we all have seasons. We may want to learn about cooking one day, 1 week, 1 month, or you may want to learn about self-help some other day, right? So pick whatever it is and do not stick to that book. If you don't like that book, just throw away and move on to another book, right? So you don't get married to one book. Take a book and start reading for 2-3 days. If you are up to it, if you like it, keep on completing that and move on. I have a goal of reading one book every week, right? So in a year, I try to learn 52 books. They say one book is equal to 1 degree.
Yes.
I try to do that.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I think we have
1 minute, Sid.
you
So
wanna
we would
add
love
something
to
else?
ask from you an action that you can give us.
I have a message to share too. I want to just reflect this or just share what I learned from my mentor. I have many mentors, but one of them specifically, they all know his name is Blair Singer. He's one of the pioneers in accelerated learning, and I've learned from him for many, many years. So the message I would like to share is basically his quote. He says that don't aim to be the best, but aim to be the best student. When you're the best student, you automatically become the best. And connected to that, how many of you have heard this, that there are two times that we are born? Have any of you heard of that? Yeah. The first time is when we are actually born in this world. And when is the second time? Do any of you know? When you find your why and purpose, like what Dhejo was speaking about. But my mentor says there are 2 times that we die. The first time is when this mortal body perishes. And he says that the second time we die is when the last person speaks about you. So his message to all of us as teachers is we all need to die only once, so that the work what we do can really continue way beyond this life as well. So that's the message that I'd like to share. And let's give a big round of applause to the panel and all of you here for being an amazing audience. I'll pass it back to the team. Yeah.
Thank you. Wonderful speech. I really learned a lot. So, one of the reasons these entrepreneurs have achieved a lot is because they never quit learning. So, I advise you all to never quit learning and be curious. Thank you for the amazing time.
So inside that is an artwork that the children at Quest made. It's a clock for the panelists. Yeah. Please go on the stage. They really want to give it to you on the stage. Thank you so much. And you guys can all stay back, and we will start our next panel in 5 minutes. Thank you so much.